If you're a woman over 40 and you're thinking about making a vision board, but you don't know where to start, this video is for you. My name is Monique, and I help women by empowering them to live the lives that they want by making vision boards. So look, I get it. Everyone is talking about vision boards and manifesting and affirmations, and that's great. But where do you start? And this is the first thing that we're going to talk about today is really where do you start? Well, in order for you to get started, you need to start back at the beginning of the year, 2024. So when you were in 2024, what did you want? Maybe you had some dreams and desires in the beginning of the year that, child, you was gung-ho on doing. You said that you were going to run that marathon. You said you were going to climb that corporate ladder. You said you was going to clean your house. Did you accomplish the goals that you set in 2024? Take a minute and really think about what were the things that you told yourself that you were going to do last year that you didn't accomplish. I'll wait. Next, you're going to ask yourself, what are some things that you did over the course of 2024 that you loved? What were some of the things that set your soul on fire? Like you had the most fun. And honestly, you would do it more than once, twice, 3 times over. The things that brought you joy, the things that made you smile. Maybe it was an activity. Maybe it was something that you did. Write those down. Next, you're going to ask yourself, what were the things that you did last year that you hated? Like, I mean, if you had to do it again, you'd be like, I'm good. I don't want to do it. Maybe they made you upset. Maybe they made you cringe a little bit, maybe even cry. It's important that we document these things because this is going to be some of the things that you're going to use when it comes to your vision board for the new year. All right, now that we've got last year out of the way, take a deep breath because that was a lot, right? Sometimes when we go back from our past and we come into the future, you just need a minute. So just breathe for a few seconds. Just take a minute, close your eyes, and breathe. One more time. Okay. Now that we're feeling relaxed, what I want you to do is close your eyes. Don't worry, you can trust me. You're okay. Now that your eyes are closed, I want you to think about if you could have anything, if you could do anything, if you could go anywhere, where would you go? What would you do? Who would you do it with? Do you have some debt that you want to pay off? How much money will you need? Maybe you want to get back with a friend or a family member. Maybe you want to buy a house. Maybe you want to start a business. Think of whatever sets your soul on fire. And I don't want you to think about anyone telling you no. I don't want you to think about what other people would say. I want you to think about what gives you the most joy. If you, let's say, won $1 million in the lottery, what would you be doing? What life would you be living? Think about it. Take some time out. Pause the video if you need to, because this is going to be super important when it comes to your vision board and what you want for the next year. Okay, great. So now that you've done that, on your notebook, your paper, or whatever, what you're gonna do is you're gonna write down goals at the top of the page, and then you're gonna write down 1 through 10. And then you're gonna write down 10 things that you saw from your dream sequence. Maybe it's in the area of travel. Maybe it's in a career. Maybe it's financial. Maybe it's in love. Maybe it's in spirituality, volunteering, entrepreneurship, think about what you saw in your dream sequence and what you really want to see yourself doing in the new year. Now, this is going to be super important, and why this video is for women over 40, because a lot of times we know what we've done last year, the year before last, and we know that, life is hard, and some of the stuff that we've tried, maybe it didn't work. But what I want you to remember is anything that you did and maybe it didn't work, it doesn't mean that it's not supposed to happen. Maybe it means that it's not supposed to happen right now. And I can say that from honest experience. I wanted to purchase a house, but I was in debt. And I was like, I know that this is for me. I didn't know how it was going to happen. And look, I am the queen of vision boards. I teach other people how to do vision boards. So I took a picture in front of a house and I peeled it off my vision board and I put it on the next year and I put it on the next year. 6 years I did this. Finally, at that 6th year is when I got serious. And this is what the importance of, even though, yes, we want these things and we know that it's hard, do not let your brain and your past experience tell you that it's not for you. What I want you to do is use those hard times and those past experiences, because these are the things, like they say, the crushing moments that are going to get you to your diamond payoffs. All right, so now that you've got your goals 1 through 10, what I want you to do is look for images that represent your goals. So you can look on Canva, you can look on Google, you can look on Pinterest. What I really love to tell people to do is that when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you try to get as close to the image as possible. So for example, I'm going to Paris this year. Notice how I said I'm going to Paris this year? That's on my vision board. Number 1, I said it in the positive. I am present tense, not I want to, but I'm going to Paris this year. So I went on Canva and I searched up Black woman with Black child in front of the Eiffel Tower. And an image popped up, and that's the image that I use on my vision board because that's something that I'm manifesting. So you always want to try to get as close as possible to what it is that you want. If you have payoff debt, I'm going to tell you to find out the exact amount that you've got to pay it off and put that on your vision board. It's okay. I put $1 million check on there. Now, I'm a realist, right? So I know that if I get $1 million, I'm gonna have to pay taxes on that. So I put $1,030,000 on there because I'm pretty sure it's about $30,000 that I'm gonna have to pay in taxes. It's all about being specific when you do your images. Now, what I'm gonna tell you is that once you get your images, you can do your vision board any way that you want to. For me, I like to do mine in quadrants. So I like to split it up into blocks of 4. And again, this is just me. One block might be for my health and wellness because I do teach fitness and I'm a fitness instructor. Another block could probably be for my house, which when I was manifesting my house, that was one block. I have one for family, and then I have one just for me. And inside of my me block has love, it has different things, but it's just for me. It also has stuff like little things that like I want to do, right? That I'm like, I really want to do this. I had like run a marathon on there, and that was on my vision board. In the center of my vision board, I always put a quote or maybe a scripture that maybe you're standing on. It's always so important to be intentional about doing your vision board because remember, you're going to look at this thing for 12 whole months, okay? So you can do it whatever way that you like to do it. Some people like doing their vision boards like the feng shui method. It's up to you, honestly, whatever feels best. Now, I always do suggest to people when you're doing this, your vision board, lay it out. Don't glue down or tape down anything, right? Put the images how you want them to go and then kind of feel it out for a few days. Maybe there's something that you want to move. Maybe there's something that you want to add. And I usually let mine, I call it marinate for about a week before I actually start gluing things down. Okay? So once you create the vision board, this is where the magic happens. And listen, you are going to have to put this vision board someplace where you are going to see it. all the time. Now, let me pause because a lot of people might be watching this video and you're like, okay, this is great, but I do not want to do arts and crafts like that. What you can do is do one on Canva. It's free, doesn't cost anything. You can save it once you do it if you search a vision board, and you can have it be your screensaver on your phone, or you can do like I did and I sent mine to the printer and I got mine printed in like 21 by 14. So it's a big poster size. Now, you can create as many vision boards as you want. I know some people do a separate vision board for specific things. This year, I am going to do that because when I manifested my studio, I had a vision board specifically for my fitness business. And because of that vision board, I was able to open a studio that we had open for 4 years. And it was successful even during COVID. So when I tell you, child, this works, okay? All right. So now that your vision board is completed, you have it up on the wall, maybe you have it in your bedroom. Mine is in my bedroom, right in front of my bed, so I see it every single morning when I get up. It's important that we look at these images every single day. Remember, your brain works in the way of images, and that's just you tipping the iceberg when it comes to your vision board. Now here is where, again, we really start going into action. It's the action behind it. Those 10 items that you wrote down on your list of goals that you wanted, you're going to decide in what order do you want to make these things manifest. And you're probably thinking, well, Monique, like, how am I supposed to do that? Great question. You are going to break these down into action steps. So let's say if one of your goals was, I don't know, to open a business. I am going to open a business. The first thing that you're going to do is you are going to write down, how are you going to do it? What are some things that you need to do to open a business? What do you need to open your business, right? So going back to my example about Paris, going to Paris is on my vision board, and that's great. But now I need to go into action. So what did I do? I started researching how much are the tickets? Where do I want to stay? What do I want to do while I'm in Paris? And I literally jot these things down. Every single week, I do one task that gets me closer to manifesting my vision, right? And it all started from the vision. Why the vision board is important is because, look, life be happening, okay? We work, we have kids, we have husbands, all the things. And seeing that vision board every single day reminds me, Monique, you said you want to go to Paris, right? Here is your reminder. So you've got to keep on going. And this really helps you to become consistent. You do this with all your goals. If you want to take it one step further, you should get into an accountability group. That's one thing that I've loved. I love hosting accountability groups. I love being in them. And those also help me to stay one step further. But honestly, it starts with you, because you can be in a million accountability groups, but if you do not want it bad enough, right, it's not going to happen. And I'm just going to be honest about that. So going back to me with the house, I wanted this house. I knew that it was for me, but I'll be honest, I didn't want it bad enough. Let me tell you why, because I only cut it out and threw it on my vision board year after year after year. It wasn't until I got serious on how was I going to get this house? How was I going to get out of debt? When the ball started rolling, and guess what? Within a year's time, I was able to walk into my home. Just like that. So when I tell you anything is possible, you can do it. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what life has thrown at you. I always say that I use those life experiences as the things, the catalysts that are going to make me who I am as I'm going for the things that I want, right? And it's so important. It doesn't matter that maybe you haven't done it yet, or it doesn't matter that maybe you don't know how to do what it is. But again, if you want it bad enough, the balls will start coming into place, but you also got to do the work. If you need some help with getting clear and maybe making the action items, click the link below. I do have a free download that you can use. It's something that I use every single week. It's a goal worksheet that really helps me to stay on track with my goals. I hope that you have found this video helpful. I felt like I rambled, but honestly, Listen, there's nothing that I love more than helping women with their vision boards because guess what? Anything is possible. Anything. In the Bible, it says that the people perish because there is no vision. So we have got to have a vision for our lives. And if you're a mom, even more so, because we've got to show the younger generation, maybe your mom, aunt, grandma, we got to show them that this is what we do, right? We don't just let life pass us by. We actually take the bull by the horns and we go for it. We're not laying down. We're going for the things that we want. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Monique. If you have any questions or if you need help, or even if you want a one-on-one for help with your vision board, feel free, contact me. My information will be below. All right, bye.